I think this pandemic, I think for me personally, what it does is that it proved to us that if we're not careful in our choice of words or choice of, decisions that we made in regarding to our well-being, whether it be physical or mental well-being, is that we tend to impose our own value onto others. And again, earlier I mentioned about patient, comfort. So that's why I think a lot of the professional setting, like hospitals and clinics, they have patient advocate. So one of the purpose that we may be able to feel being the Hmong Shaman and Earth Center is that we be that patient advocate piece, that we try to advocate for, not try, but we really advocate and educate both sides. The more minded, modern-minded individuals to the traditionally minded individuals, so they will find, comfort in compromising of accepting and seeking the healing process from either one or both, the modern way and then the traditional ways. So that hopefully that by being the advocate, we be able to help educate the so-called American-born, American-raised mentality versus the traditionally or culturally minded individual. And the piece that we could do is that we not only advocate for the patient, but we also put some, credibility or explain some of the purpose way of traditional healer does. That is not that threatening. It's not, as I would say threatening as it was probably publicized more so than it has been, promoted on the more positive note of how such traditional healing process could be beneficial to an individual, especially coming from the patient standpoint and not so much from us as either family members or community member to impose our value and our needs onto those that are seeking, whether it be in the modern ways or the traditional ways. So again, for those of us that are a little bit more modernized, we should again focus on the patient, and also the culturally and traditional mind, we should also again focus on the patient, and we're not always stick to our own and say, no, you do not go to the hospital because the hospital would do this and do that to you and you would not be well. Or the more modern would say, you cannot rely on your traditional way because that is so, so yesterday or so, long gone, and those are no longer relevant or even, helpful to you. Whereas from the patient standpoint, either one or both of them or all of them are very, very relevant to them, even today.